it centered there. Okay. We have with us today Mark and Sherry Reed, and we are so glad that they are with us. They are the parents of Jeffrey, and Jeffrey was born with some real severe disabilities. And our question today really revolve around Mark and Sherry and how they take care of themselves. And since Jeffrey has been born, what have you learned? Maybe Mark, you could go first. What have you learned that is really critical so that you take care of yourself while still giving total care 24/7 to Jeffrey? And then maybe Sherry, you could dovetail in with that.
Okay. Well, I think that one of the things that that I've seen that I've had to deal with is keeping myself spiritually strong, making sure I stay connected with God, either in the Word or in prayer. Weekly Bible attendance, and fellowshipping with other people, and getting strength, from them. But trying to stay as spiritually strong as possible.
Super, super.
Well, I'll address the emotional end, I guess. We have pretty much an open understanding that we can share with each other, how we're feeling, and not maybe judge the other if we're having a bad day or whatever. So we try to keep open with that, and just really uphold each other during the weak times. It seems, thankfully, we're not both sort of on the low downside at the same time, but just being able to be honest with each other and uphold each other. And along with that, in the physical end, I guess, is just getting rest and eating right, and just getting downtime and breaks. And we try to give each other some times just alone, just maybe to read, or for me, or for him to go fishing or something like that. So.
Well, you kind of answered my next question about what do you do to give yourselves respite. So do you have times when you have significant periods that you don't have to be involved with Jeffrey?
Yeah, well, there's one more thing I wanted to address is the feelings and frustrations that we go through. The importance of not only talking to each other, but talking, and if need be, venting to God, and just getting that out. Because if you don't get it out in a healthy way, it's liable to come out in an unhealthy way.
Sure.
And sometimes you just, like the Bible says, you pour out your complaint. And that's, to me, that's part of casting your care upon Him, is just getting it out. All the frustrations, all the anger, the resentment, everything. And so that He can deal with it, instead of you keeping it in and have your emotions, pent up. But you were talking about respite. We try to get date nights when we can. We also try to get weekends, a weekend getaway a couple times a year. And sometimes we'll have alternative weekends, like an alternative individual getaway where, like, Shira will go with some of her girlfriends shopping for the weekend, and I'll maybe go with a buddy for the day, or I'll go with some guys fishing, just to get out and kind of fill the tank a little bit.
Good.
Thankfully, we have, like, our parents will, help. We have a support system, so that's helpful.
It's always nice to have
Yes.
Mom and Dad.
Definitely.
Always nice. How do you view your role now as Jeffrey's primary caregivers compared to when he was first born? I mean, I'm sure it has evolved and it's changed. I'm not even sure what I'm asking on that question, but it's got to have evolved, and not that it's old hat now, but you probably have a system and it's working a little better for you.
Yeah, things have changed, obviously. When he was younger, he was a very poor sleeper. We were up many, many, many times through the night, so that was more difficult. Now he's a better sleeper, but in exchange for that, he's bigger, and so that's physically taxing on us, the carrying him, the lifting. As he's 17 now, he's much more physical. He flails a lot more. He bites. He's more emotional. We don't know if that's hormonal or what, but that's something we're trying to look into. But so that's another stress, and that's a change that has occurred. He was in diapers through the age 11. right now he's in pull-ups, so he's working on some potty training sorts of things. So that's been a good change, a helpful change. Now that he's entered school, we have find ourselves taking on that advocate role, advocating for services and therapies and his schooling. So things like that have changed.
And Mark, I'm sure because Jeffrey has grown, you have to do a lot of the physical
Right.
moving, what have you.
Right. I even, as funny as it sounds, I ended up getting a universal gym put in our basement, not only for physical exercise, but I've seen that the more I work out, the easier it is for me to lift him. Because I do, I mean, we lift him together, but I carry kind of the heavier part. And when I have had a good workout, it's not as hard. So I've kind of gotten myself in better physical shape just so that I can lift Jeffrey without as much strain.
So part of caring for you as a caregiver is to take care of yourself and make
Right.
sure that you're physically able
Right.
to meet the demands that,
Exactly.
that are there. Just one more question. Do you have any advice to give a family member who finds themselves as the primary caregiver for a needy family member? A particular advice that you would give to them?
Okay. Well, the thing that I've found out, besides taking care of yourself, realize that you can't take them any farther than you can go yourself, and that you have got to take care of yourself in order to take care of them, and to realize that men and women are wired differently for this kind of stuff. Men are more physical, women are more emotional. Know what your strengths are, know what your limitations are, and know how far you can go and how far you can't go. And don't be afraid to ask for some help, because or accept help that's offered, because those people that do that can be blessed as well in helping you.
I think we found that not to judge one another. If, like he talked about, the men are built more for the physical. That's his strong area, and I can maybe handle those emotional outbursts a little bit better than him, but he's better with the physical end. So the Lord's given us both strengths and weaknesses, and that's why we're a team. We work together. So that's why it works best.
Well, I thank you both for sharing today and sharing with our pastors and wives and staff members here in Pendel, and I'm sure that what you've shared is going to really be an encouragement to some hearts and lives. So God bless you. Praying for you, praying for Jeffrey all the time. Thank you.
You.